Hello, it's Andrea. Welcome back to another episode of Makeup to Breakups. Today I'm here with Sage Maitri, and she's gonna help us figure out how to pick the perfect shade of makeup for your skin tone. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for having me.
Sage has worked with some of the top photographers. She's been featured in top magazines, Vogue, Vanity Fair, Elle. Can you tell us what celebrities you've worked with?
Sure. I work with Alexa Chung, and Mina Savari, and Ali Larder, and Camilla Bell.
So you go to work and you have this like blank canvas, like this bare face in your chair. How do you decide what kind of makeup you're gonna put on her face? Like, how do you know what, shade of lipstick's gonna work for her, or what foundation? Like, what is it that you look at to decide all of these important things?
Yeah, I love to look at the wrist. People
I heard
who
about
have
that.
a lot of yellow in their skin, so who tend to be warmer and more golden, like yourself, your vein color will actually be more green, which is kind of a fun little trick.
My vein color's green.
Compared to mine, I have a lot of pink in my skin and not too much yellow, and mine is actually just real blue. That's a great trick. Within each color group or color category, there's a warm version of something, there's a cool version of something. Hair color is a huge thing to take into account, certainly too, what you're wearing. But once you, I feel like, have like the arsenal of information, it doesn't seem as overwhelming.
Okay, so we have some questions from you guys. The first one is from Smiley09Bell, and she asks, any tips on how to choose the perfect dark lipstick shade? That's a hard one.
You could get a pack of construction paper at your art store. It has every color, every shade from dark to light. Hold them up to your face and see what speaks to you or what makes you look super ill. Like if I hold yellow up to my face, it's not happening. That's a good little trick. So once you can kind of nail down like, oh, blues and greens look really great against my skin tone, most likely you're a cool. So once you can kind of figure out what your shades are, then you can go within the spectrum of the color. So say you tend to look better in sort of a blue-based pink, you can go find the dark version of your blue-based pink, and you just kind of can tweak it.
I feel like yellow is my color. What's your color?
Well, I tend to go towards colors that are like the jewel tones, which tends to be people, they consider them, this is super old school, but a winter shade. The winters, we're the gals that have the darker hair, darker eyes, darker eyebrows. We tend to be more pale on our skin, but we look great in like a burgundy shade, like a really like plummy wine shade, I can do.
So what about like a medium skin tone, like mine, or like Asian?
Considering that your skin tone and Asian skin tones, and there's a bit more yellow, there's a range that you can sort of choose from. But I'm saying if we're gonna choose dark colors, choosing something, purple is actually a complementary color to yellow.
And then what about like darker skin tones?
What I would stay away from are the pale, the kind of the pinks, even though they look dark on other skin tones, can end up looking a little bit chalky. So keeping that rich, but like rich plums, rich burgundies. I've seen beautiful shades of red, thinking like blood reds on a darker skin tone as well.
Shauna Collymore asks, what is the best choice for darker skin girls for a smoky eye? What kind of color should they choose?
Well, I will say that traditionally smoky eyes, we kind of use browns and grays, and those on darker skin tones can go quite muddy. What I like to do is sort of create the definition and the depth with a darker color, go over the top of it with like a gorgeous plum or like a really beautiful green. That's the time, it's great because you have the opportunity to play with color.
And with darker skin girls, it's the same thing, right? There's still warm undertones and cool undertones.
Exactly. So warmer undertones, you could play around with beautiful shades of like copper and bronzes. And then with the cooler skin tones I love to do like the plums and like that cobalt blue looks really beautiful.
The next question is from Jamie Pin. Hey Andrea, I actually have a ton of questions, but for right now, I'm gonna just ask one. I'm no good at blush. I don't know how to pick it out for my skin tone, and I have no clue how to apply it. And I really want to, same goes for bronzer. Please help me.
So I'm gonna go back to my original tip, which was looking at the vein color, which is one of my favorites. That could be very helpful. If she's more golden, maybe she needs to go for something that has a little bit more peach to it, more of a coral, depending where she is in that sort of spectrum. If she has a little bit darker skin and she's a warm shade, she can do a poppier coral, or on that, like a lighter peach. And if she's more that like me, like that cool blue-based, she wants to stick with kind of those more, the softer, you know, that pink, the more blue-based pinks. There are a range of bronzers as well. So the more golden your skin, you know, you can find a bronzer that's gonna warm it up. Fair girls should be careful of bronzer because most bronzers can end up looking a little bit muddy.
And when you say muddy, what do you mean by muddy?
Just a little dirty, yeah. There's a way to warm the skin without using, you know, having to do a full bronzer. Also, she said she doesn't know how to apply it. I always say, smile, find the apples of the cheeks. Yep, right there, right
Smile,
there. And always start your color here, and then don't ever start it back here, and then just kind of wisp it up towards the hairline.
We're gonna play a little game. It is called Eek or Chic.
Ooh.
I show you a picture of a makeup trend, and you tell me if you're loving it or hating it.
Okay.
But you say Eek or Chic.
Okay, perfect, I can do that.
All right, the first one, Louis Vuitton Morning After Eyes.
That's a little tricky for most gals. Just ends up looking a little dirty. I mean, again, I love like the idea of like the theatrics of fashion and stuff, but I'm gonna say Eek.
Anna Sui's Paint Box Hued Eyes.
Going chic.
Yeah?
I love like the idea of using a pop of color. It's done in a modern way. Like the skin is really fresh and glowing. And if you keep everything else simple, you can definitely get away with playing with the trend. You're not doing too much of anything. I'm going chic.
Michael Kors and Mulberry Flushed Cheeks. Eek or Chic?
Chic always.
I love
it. I mean,
I love a lot of blush.
yeah, it's good. It's good for everybody. It gives life to the skin. It makes you look healthy.
I feel like that. I feel alive.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do too much though.
This again is done for like hot lights and a stage and it's fashion, and this is, but still, flush cheeks, chic.
Burberry's Bold Brows. Eek or Chic?
Bold brows never, for me, are always chic. There's strength to it, it frames the face, and again, you wanna like, you know, make sure that your eyebrows are groomed properly. If you have a nice sort of already shape to it, and just keep it sort of like define them and keep them feathery versus like a big block of color. But I'm loving a bold brow. Chic to me, for sure.
That is it for today's episode of Makeup to Breakups, how to choose the right shade for your skin tone. Thank you so much, Sage, for being a part of this.
My pleasure. It was fun.
We had fun. I believed that. If you guys have any questions for future episodes, comment it down below in the comment section and we might use yours. And if you don't want to ask any questions, then just go ahead and hit the like button or subscribe so you can see the future episodes. And we will see you guys soon, okay? Bye.